nice.
Should be really comfortable for at least the standards of this time of the year, where we normally would drop all the way down to about 35 through the overnight, and the overnight low is only expected to be about 45. So
nice.
yeah, not shabby at all. So I don't think we're running around in shorts and flip-flops per se, but it's a lot more comfortable. Yeah, having just been on the sky deck, it really does feel pretty comfortable, all things considered. So we take a look outside and things are nice and clear. The wind is virtually non-existent right now, and that really helps. Isn't that a beautiful shot? Minus the crane smack dab in the center of the shot, but you know, business must continue, obviously. So we take a look here and it is all completely calm. Again, that wind is barely noticeable. The sun nice and high. And granted, the angle continues to get lower and lower this time of year, but it's still doing its part to A, warm things up, and B, make it feel more comfortable to you. When you're in the sunlight as opposed to being in the shadows, say between the city skyscrapers, you really notice the difference. So you will in fact notice that if you're walking around at lunchtime here today. Next, we go to a shot in our live neighborhood network where it's completely bright. Kids aren't out for recess at the moment, but you're at 51 degrees here, modest breeze, if that, and the only movement you really see on this camera is just cars going through. It's very, very calm and very serene this afternoon. Now, looking at storm scan, you can understand why we've got that clear sky. There's virtually nothing to see here. We do have a front that moves in late tonight into tomorrow. Here it is. It looks far less than impressive, and it's one of several fronts that come through one after another. What's great, though, is that really none of these fronts pose any major threats. I don't expect any kind of major wet weather issues out of any of them, but they will be fronts that at least live up to their name of cold front. They knock the temperatures back over time. They just don't have a lot of moisture associated with them. Now, as we look at that first front here tonight, here it comes. But if we're going to see wet weather at all, you're going to have to go pretty far north. At furthest south, you're talking upstate New York, getting on a quick shower overnight into tomorrow. We are likely to see more sun than anything yet again throughout the day tomorrow. That front, it's just fizzling somewhat, and we'll even warm up a little bit more come tomorrow afternoon compared to today's daytime high, which we'll get to. Then comes the next front Thursday night. This is a better chance for us to see a couple of showers. Notice though, you'd have to go really far north to see any kind of wintry mixing, and I'm not even sold that that's going to be the case. We'll keep an eye on it for you, but by that point, temperatures will have begun to decline at least a little bit, and then we wrap things up on a quiet note overall for Friday. Now, the almanac is as such. This shows you what's normal, what we're going to find out there today, what's record-breaking. We hit a high of 71 all the way back in 1990, so we're clearly not coming close to that, but you are at least a good solid 8 degrees above what's average for today's high. We may even hit 60 degrees here in the city, so we'll see how we do. But notice again, we are right on par. We bottomed out at 35 early this morning. That's exactly where we should be. So the warmth is still getting funneled in here, and it's obvious why. Look at the wind direction, not so much the numbers, but the direction of these arrows. It's all coming in from the south, so it's allowing these temperatures to rebound nicely since it's coming from a warmer place. So we call this practically perfect, and I love when I can break out this graphic. You've got sunshine, warmth, for the standards anyway, nice light winds, low humidity, checking every single box for a picture perfect afternoon. I'd still walk out the door with some layers. 49 degrees in Allentown this hour. That warrants a heavier coat, but you won't be hugging it so tightly, and you're not going to have to worry about wind either. But here you go, a trio of 60s, Millville, Wildwood, and Dover. Not bad. And we're getting awfully close here in Philly. So again, we're going to see how we do, but we're making the call. 59 for the daytime high here today, 62 for Wednesday afternoon, warmest day of the next 7. And then those cool fronts do live up to their name, knock the temperatures back a little bit here. So it looks a bit more seasonable by Thursday. We can handle seasonable. By Saturday, coolest day of the pack. We hit only 48 degrees. And right now, there aren't any major storms in sight either. It's just a couple of these relatively wimpy fronts that bring modest precipitation problems and otherwise a little bit of an ebb and flow on the thermometer. No harm, no foul. All in all, a pretty tame looking 7-day.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Katie.
Sure.